Generic greetings and welcome back to Prison Architect, where in the previous episode we were on the planning stage of this island prison, and as you can see we've got a fairly rough plan. We've got our cell block up the top there with areas for showering and sort of compound in the middle, which I quite like the idea of, but it's not greatly practical. Yard, kitchen, canteen, and all of the other stuff. Now, understand this is going to be a high-risk prison, and we won't necessarily have everything in it, so we might not have... We'll certainly have laundry and such, but we might not have those working in that. We're not going to have necessarily every single extra. So if we go to rooms and expand that, we might not have a library, we might not have a classroom or a mail room, but we'll put in what we can. Obviously, this being a high-risk one, you know, things will change. So we're going to go for a couple of grants here, Basic Detention Centre and then the Administration Centre, and we're going to get some grants done. So we're going to go over to our foundation and then probably building concrete for the island, but building brick on here, although... just to follow same convention, we are going to build this thing here. So this is going to be our staff room as well as the different offices. So let's crack on with that. So we're going to go over to objects and minimize that. And we're going to go for a staff door. Not that we need a staff door, you understand, but I might as well have something in there. Actually, a door would save us some money, and we don't necessarily need a staff door, but... I guess just rule of thumb is that you should probably have one. In fact, I don't need to plan off multiples because these are going to be all the same. So the workers are going to crack on and do that. In terms of our intake, we will turn that off. So we're going to go over to intake and we'll say max sec on, close off the min and medium, and then close it because we don't want that. We've got a CEO's letter, which we will promptly ignore, and then we'll speed up to max speed and crack on with the building. As I said in the previous video, this is a downloadable map. You can just jump on Steam Workshop, type in island, and you've got several of them there. There's many others. There's ones that are totally sealed off, and eventually I might get onto that one, but hey-ho. So let's go over to brick wall, and let's go concrete, and then concrete wall will go along like so. I am going to probably place all of these here, and I might as well place the staff door in just because we're going to have all of the workers stuck now, and that's generally classed as suboptimal. So we need to go over to rooms and to the office, and when we'll build one of the offices, we'll actually place this as a staff room for the time being, and then we'll sort our offices out, which requires a filing cabinet, it requires an office desk, which we'll put in there, and then finally an office chair. And then once that's in, we will... Actually, I'm not going to clone it because, quite frankly, it's going to take all the lights with it. So it's not exactly a massive task to sort this out. Let me just zoom back in here, and we'll put the filing cabinets and stuff back in. This is requiring some power, so we will be doing that in the future. Just zooming back in to get that office desk. And 1, 2, 3... 4, and that should be everything done. So we will hire a warden like so, and then we now have access to bureaucracy, which we will use to unlock finance, and then pretty much everything else, but I'm not going to do it just yet. Actually no, after finance we'll go for health, and that'll be fine for now. And the finance, when we get the finance, we'll get the accountant, it means that we can get an extra grant. So let's go for office, and we'll drag that up to there, and then that's extra offices done. We need to unlock finance through bureaucracy, which we are 13% completed, and we need to hire an accountant. While we are waiting for that, we'll go to foundations and building concrete. We're going for concrete, and this is going to be our room for the... do you want a staff door? I think a staff door would be fine. This is going to be our door, our room for the power and that sort of thing, and we'll run all the power cables and such along. I haven't got a workshop, but there is space enough for a workshop. In fact, this thing here could reasonably be a workshop, so maybe we'll go ahead and do that, although I will have to shrink that down, because following convention, we do need to leave a gap there. Although, what I might do is this, and then that gives us a little bit of a storage area for whatever we need to have. We're trying to utilise as much of this extra space as we possibly can, although I'm not entirely sure what is water there. Like, is that a bit of water there? It doesn't really say. The best way to find out is to go to materials and then say sand, and yes, we can see that that is a water tile. When you try to do that, you can see what is is not water, so that's fine. So that's not fine because that's a problem. We can't go right up to it, but anyway. So this is now completed, this building, so we're going to place a water pump up top, and then we'll place a power station in there, and then we'll place the capacitors like so. The problem that we have, as you can see, is that everything's like right connected up, so if there's a surge or if we go over the odds on the power, then that's going to cause us some issues. I'm going to place another, I think I'm going to place another capacitor there, just because it allows me then to run the electrical cable there and then down and across. This is just going to run straight across, and then we're going to run it up like so, and that'll connect up all of them buildings. There we are. And That's sorted. So 86% on finance through bureaucracy unlocked. Today's beverages chamomile tea again, and we need basic detention centre. So it needs yard, needs kitchen, it needs all of that sort of thing. So let's go for some materials and concrete wall. Concrete wall will go up to there and then up to there. We now have the ability to get an accountant, which we'll now do, and for some reason they're going right away from the office that the warden's in because they don't like him. We're only surmising. Let's go over to bureaucracy here, and we're going to unlock a extra grant and bank loan from the finance director there. The officers don't have any floor, but I really don't care. And there's the end of that chat. Why is that worker? Is that worker stuck? I think they were stuck. Either that, or they were getting electrocuted by that capacitor. Although capacitors don't tend to just electrocute, they tend to blow you up if they were that size. Anyway, so this is a building that needs to be built, so let's crack on with that. So we'll do that and that and that and all the way along here. And this will be our storage area, and this will be our kitchen and canteen. So quite frankly, we could go ahead and build it, but actually we can't because we've got nowhere near enough money. So let's get another grant. Over to our grants here. We have long-term investment and short-term investment. It's best off getting them on the go first. And we also have inmate health and well-being. So we'll probably pick that up and then just get the grant as best we can. Over to rooms here, we want to put a large jail door. Actually, we'll put just a standard jail door on the front there. That should be fine. And then once that's built, we also need a staff door there and a staff door in there. And that can be a standard door because that's going to be where visitors are going through. And there we go, that's now built. And that actually should light things up, but it has not. Oh, now it has lit it up. There we go, it's all getting Jenny rated. So, darn it, I knew I'd do that eventually. Yeah, it was going to happen. It was going to happen. Okay, redo the wall, even though it's going to cost loads of money. There we go. There's that wall. Getting placed. Concrete again. And that one needs to be a staff room. Actually, we'll place storage in here. Don't know if this is going to be our final storage room, but, you know, we'll designate it as such for the time being. So we'll have our staff door in there. So we have got a yard. You can see it's now designated as a yard because it is internal, which is good. We need a shower, holding cell, all that sort of thing. Shower and holding cell currently don't exist, so that's a problem. We do need to put some of those in. Holding cell, not so much. Solitary, just don't have, so that's even worse. In terms of the grants, the health is almost finished and the extra grant is almost finished too. We'll go on with the reception here because it won't take too long to build, so we'll have a table either side. And we've already planned off the majority of this, so that means that that is now done. You can notice that we haven't put the flooring in. That's just something that I haven't bothered with yet. I am going to spend... I'm not going to... Yes, I am going to spend $1,000 on a metal detector because it would be remiss of me if I didn't put it in right now because I'm certainly going to forget it later on. So we should have got an extra grant now, which we can go for probably short-term investment, and that means we've got no more money. So I'm going to get rid of that and go for probably... Staff Wellbeing Initiative would be very easy to complete, although we're going to go with Health and Wellbeing, simply because it'll be very, very easy to do. So I'm going to get... No, it's not easy to do because I haven't looked out. We'll unlock Psychology. We will do the good old trick of removing that and then placing an infirmary in there, and then we'll place a medical bed. It requires a medical bed. We need 2 doctors and a psychologist, and then we'll get rid of that. That's certainly not going to be where our infirmary is. That's not going to happen. It's annoying that the regime is set up to what it is. I'm just going to change it all to free time just so we don't have any missteps there, and that's about right. There's that, fine. And we need at least 2 doctors and 1 psychologist, which we currently don't have because we got 4 hours remaining on that one. So reception is in. We need to have this building done, but that's a lot of money. In terms of the holding cell and shower, that's fine. Shower we might as well place because that wouldn't take too long to do. So the fence will go along like so. We will place. In fact, we might not even place any sort of any sort of like walkways in there or whatever. Actually, no, we'll place walkways in there, but we won't place doors in there necessarily because you don't need to. This will be designated as shower, and then we will have one shower and one shower head, and that is fine. That is technically classed as a shower. Technically, it is a shower. I mean, it is definitely a shower, a singular lonesome shower. That's the problem. It's one shower. Anyway. In terms of the extra bank loans, 45% complete. So we're getting there, The staff room is not completed. We need a wide sofa, wide sofa and a drinks machine. I tend to place the drinks machines as you first come in, but the problem is that you don't see them because you just see the back. So I'm going to place them. Actually, you know what? Doesn't matter. That'll go there, and then a sofa wide will go in there, and that should be our staff room. Pretty much done. We haven't unlocked psychology, but it's almost there. We now have a shower. We don't have a holding cell. We don't have a kitchen, canteen, or anything like that. But this building will need to be constructed first. That obviously is requiring water. We will probably run the water pipe right through the centre and then connect them up that way, and then run it further down for that. But then we have to think about where our other things going to be. So let's work on the assumption, perhaps, that this is going to be our work area for, the workshop. Can we have it in here? We certainly can. We could probably even fit it in a bit better. 9. We could have 3 machines like that. 3 machines in a row like that. It's not ideal, but things never are. And then on the top bit here, we have 4 and... darn it. So 4 and then 4 and a gap of 3. So they're going to be tables. We can shrink them up if we want to do so. We've got 9, is that 3, 6, 9, 12, no, 3, 18 machines in there. That's fine. I don't think there's any great problem there. That's fine. So that's going to be our workshop, or potentially going to be our workshop. We haven't got a solitary area. I'm feeling that a solitary area should be around here. It means that if we have the building going... Well, this is going to be a building here somewhere, like that. I'm probably going to have that as a laundry. Maybe that... actually, that's a laundry. It's actually a very big laundry. We don't need it that size, but what else could it be? Oh, infirmary. Actually, an infirmary there is not too much of a problem. I don't think that's unreasonable to have that as an infirmary. Okay, I think that's probably going to be the infirmary, but we'll see. Speaking of infirmary, let's go for 2 doctors and psychologists. That gets that grant done, and I'm not going to sack... actually, how much do they cost? Psychologist, 200 per day. So if we go through 5 days, if we go over 5 days, if we sack them now and go over 5 days, it's worth it. If we go and sack them now and then rehire them within 5 days, it's not worth it. So I think we'll get rid. So thank you for your assistance. You're gone. We will dismantle the medical bed, although the medical bed is placed where there's a massive stack of girders, but hey-ho. We want to have a storage in here, like so. And remove that side there. And then we need to figure out where we're going to place... Oh, we've got a new grant as well. A grant, Reform Through Education Initiative. They're never going to do that at this point. Staff well-being is decent. We've got most of that done anyway. We just need 5 guards, and guards are, once again, it's 100 per day. Okay, we'll leave that for now. Let's work on the basic detention centre. Can we build... I don't know why I'm asking, because I know we can't. Can we build this? Oh! I stand corrected. We can build this. There we go. Okay. I don't know why that bit's in there. a bit weird. So this is going to be our kitchen and canteen. Sadly, not much money, but we are gaining 500 a day. By the way, the warden themselves, if you notice, they are just the standard warden, because when this map was created, I don't believe there was separate wardens. But that could be a complete lie. I'm going to dismantle that door because it's actually there, and that's not actually... it doesn't really have a point being there, does it? It needs to be a little bit further back. Staff door can go there. And that is now in. We'll place a staff door in there, and that requires an entrance, so I'm going to place that there, and that's just weird. That's probably going to glitch out and not work. Although, when that door's in, it might. It might. Okay. That is a new one. There we go. Yeah, just move the door over. It's a technicality, but it's in. Okay, we'll dismantle that. We don't need that. And concrete wall will go there. Concrete wall also go right across there. Right, so there's all that in. We'll place the concrete walls either side there. And our large jail doors there and there. So, we need to have a kitchen. And a canteen. There's some debate whether you put them there. If I put them there, there's a metal detector there, and technically you can stand there and nick something, and it probably won't trigger the metal detector. It's a really edge case scenario, but why risk it? Why risk it? Okay, so over to our objects and table. We'll place a table and a couple of benches in there. In terms of the kitchen, once again, we're just going to go for grant completion here. So it's just one of everything that we need. We won't even be connecting up to the power or anything like that. Actually, I will connect it to the power. I'm going to lie and connect it up to the power. How do we want to connect up the power? We could just run it across like that. Yeah, and eventually this will get connected up anywhere. And there we go. That should hopefully power everything. So that means we now have... oh, we need a serving table as well. I'm going to place the serving tables because, quite frankly, they're so cheap. I don't know why they're 20. They've always been 20 generic units of currency since the game began, I believe. So it's a bit cheap for the size of them, but hey-ho. You can probably weigh them in for less. Or more, even. Anyway, so there's that. We now have a holding cell required, 2 guards, 2 cooks, and there's that basic detention centre done. With the money that we have, that shouldn't be a massive problem. In fact, we can probably just... I was going to say glitch it out, but it's not a glitch. It's going to just be putting that as that, placing that there. We need a toilet and a bench, and this has become our universal building for getting stuff and grants done. So, the holding cell will go in there. Oh, you can see all of the workers coming along and placing the stuff in there. So we're going to hire 2 cooks, 2 guards. Ah, insufficient funds. You are joking. Nope, it is not joking. I need 1 more. Well, we are getting 280 per tick, so I'm just waiting. Just waiting until we've got the money. When are we going to get that? Is there any trees to sell? I really don't think there is. Oh, yeah, 11 cash flow. So how's the family? Can't really make chit-chat while waiting for this to happen. We've got 140 hours for the long-term investment. I want to get the short-term as well, but with this done, it should be fine. I can't really fire anybody else, and I can't really sell anything because there's nothing to sell. We'll get there eventually. Oh, we actually can take a loan. Why don't we just take a loan? Increase the loan by a little bit. We will then gain 1 more guard. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 more guards, and then that's 2 of the grants completed. We will decrease that bank loan, and then we will... do we fire the staff? Do I think I'll get people within 5 days? Maybe. So let's not do that. We're going to go for a cell block, visitation rights, prison maintenance. Yeah. Well, short-term investment is just the standard one, innit? And maintenance. So unlock maintenance and then groundskeeping and such. We're going to unlock the security officer as well as probably prison policy and such. But I think we will leave it there for now. Not a bad bit of grant completion, and I do stress grant completion over building or anything else because, yes, as you can see, we've got some buildings in, but it's not like a huge thing yet, but there we are. So next episode, we will focus on, excuse me, on getting the prison maintenance grant completed, because that's very easy to do at this point. Obviously, the short and long-term investment will be going on as well. We need to build a permanent area for solitary as well as a holding cell, because currently we don't have either. So I'll have a think about that one, and we'll see where it's going to go. I do think this is a decent place for not only the psychologist, but also for the infirmary and the morgue. We'll probably put the morgue back here. We'll just have a little entrance there, and it should be about right. You don't generally need a big morgue, although it really depends on how bad it goes, doesn't it? Let me place some sand here, and ooh, hang on, cancel that. Sand, where can we not place it? It says we can't place it there. So is that water? I think it might be, but I can't see because it's so dark, so I'll worry about that next episode. As I said, we'll crack on. This is going to be infirmary, and then we'll probably have our solitary and other things there, but we'll see how we get on. As always, hope you have enjoyed the video and the series thus far. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.